it once was.
Are you leaving it there for the next visitor?
Yeah.
When Wayne was little, or younger,
Yeah.
some friends of his came out from Arvada to stay with him, and there was some antelope out there, so he wanted to show his friends how fast an antelope would run. He shot it and killed it. So we had antelope for a while.
It's unbelievable.
I had my appendix out in Hot Springs, South Dakota, 1935.
Yeah.
And when they took the stitches out, they missed one. And I wondered what happened, why they couldn't find it.
Right.
And Wayne said, well, it probably slipped down inside. They tie him on the inside. So I took his word for it. When we were on our way home, I said, how could they tie those stitches on the inside? And he laughed. Did you believe that? That's the kind of things he did to me. Right down here,
But what was it?
right close to the road.
It was a schoolhouse?
Yeah,
Is that where that's not where you went to school though?
my 3rd grade. And Daddy built a shack. And Mama and Wayne and I lived in the shack. Wayne went to school to 1st grade here. And I went 3rd grade. Then they built South Palm Schoolhouse, and that's where we finished grade school. Yeah, that's right.
So does the land look a lot the same to you around here? The layout, it hasn't changed much? But this is what the hills used to look like. I mean, they weren't any more or less farmed than they are now, or...
Well, there might be more farmland.
What crops did your dad grow?
What crops? Hay, wheat mostly. Some corn, our own potatoes, alfalfa.
Did Wayne help out on the farm much?
Oh yes,
He did.
yes.
You know, you had pigs too, didn't you?
Oh yes.
I think one of those pigs bit Dad on a finger, didn't he?
What?
I said, didn't one of those pigs bite Dad on the finger?
Might have.
Seems like he nearly lost one chunk of his
Might
finger.
have. He had a little pig. They were red pigs. I don't even know what kind, but they were little red pigs. The cutest things you ever saw. And he had one that he called Susie.
Susie, I've heard about her.
And he went out one morning and Susie was dead. And Wayne picked her up and threw her down the little sow. She was so cute though. He was broken hearted.
Over the pig? Over the pig, yeah.
Because the pig died.
Right. Who slaughtered the animals when it was time to eat them?
Daddy.
Daddy did?
Yes. They'd have a barrel, and if it was a pig, they had a barrel and they'd dip the pig in real hot water and then shave it, you might say.
Yeah. Did that bother you at all? The whole...
And they butchered the beef.
Did they do much hunting? Or did you mostly raised food?
Mama always canned beef. They cut it up in kind of cubes, you know,
Yeah.
and put it in half-gallon jars and season it, and then put it in the wash boiler and cook it, I think, for 3 hours. And then if we had company or something, somebody drop in, it was a quick meal, she'd get one of those jars out, thicken the broth, use it over either potatoes or bread. So road would be so that gumbo would build up around the wheels so they couldn't turn,
Right.
and they'd stop and stay overnight with us. We met a lot of nice people that way.
And you
Now-
said
I'm sorry, was that traveled mostly by cars then? When you're, okay, they're, all
What
right.
car did you have?
Oh, we had 1925 Dodges and things like that. We had team and horses with buggies.
What about the hobos? You were telling me about hobos.
We had a lot of hobos. They'd come and stop for bite to eat, you know. Folks would feed them for a while, and then every hobo that came along would stop because they had a way of letting you know if people would feed them. And they'd get tired of feeding them, so they'd stop, and the hobos would quit coming. Or stopping. At one night, he wanted to sleep in the barn. Daddy said, "Do you smoke?" "Yes, I smoke. I always have and I always will." Daddy said, "Then I don't want you sleeping in my barn." So we watched him go over the hill west of us to be sure he didn't stop at a place at the cow barn or something down by the highway. But we had a lot of them. We never had any trouble with them, but could have, I guess. No, we didn't do much running around in those days.
Someone out of
So
the
you didn't do like family vacations or anything like that?
Well, we
Yeah.
went to Nebraska
You went to
to
Nebraska.
visit relatives.
Okay.
But, you know, times were hard then. But everybody was in the same circumstances. Wasn't like it is now. One neighbor having so much more than the other, you know. Everybody was just about the same. Same amount of land and everything.
So your father died right before the Great Depression.
1934.
34, right?
Yeah.
So right at the towards the beginning. When did the stock market crash?
29. When?
29? Is that it?
Well,
When did the market crash? 29?
I think it did.
Okay, so he was he died
Yeah.
right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle. Or the end of it.
You know, you had a picture that you showed me one time. It's a car with a bunch of horses hitched to it. What's that all about?
A bunch of horses hitched
To a car.
a car. Oh, when they worked on the engine of a car, you know, it wouldn't start by itself. They had to hitch a team to it and pull it, make the horses run to get it to start. That's one of those on that picture in the wall.
That's what I was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. They had, I don't know, something about the pistons or something, probably.
Push start him now.